Believe it or not, we've reached the midway point of the Texas high school football regular season, and massive district matchups are everywhere. These are the picks. Welcome into the Picks, your guide to the Texas high school football weekend. My name is Greg Tepper of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com. Thank you so much for tuning in, and welcome into Week 6 of the 2023 Texas high school football season. And I'm going to level with you guys. The slate's a little bit thin this week. Almost a third of the state is on an open date this week. I can explain to you why, but basically the way the districts line up, a lot of teams are off this week. And so as a result, there's not as many bangers as we're used to, right? Instead of like 50, there's only like 30, right? But that's okay, because it's Texas high school football and there's meaningful action in every corner of the state. If you're a brand name shopper, somebody who just looks for the big helmet games, maybe this isn't the week for you. But if you like Texas high school football, then this week has plenty of action for you. We start in Brownwood. 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Gordonwood Stadium in Brownwood. One of the great rivalries in Texas high school football is renewed as the Stephenville Yellow Jackets visit the Brownwood Lions in a state-ranked 4A matchup. What are the keys to this matchup? Key number one, like Ike. Let's talk about Ike Hall, the quarterback for Brownwood, because he is a lot of fun to watch and a real big reason why the Lions are off to this roaring start. He is a true dual threat, can do a little bit of everything, ran for 4 touchdowns last week in their win over Waco Connally, but make no mistake, he can absolutely sit in the pocket and throw it as well. He is a dynamic athlete, whether he's running it or throwing it, and he's got a good offensive line and plenty of weapons around him. A big question in this game is how the Stephenville defense, led by Hudson Butchie, is going to be able to contain him. If Ike Hall goes off in this game, Brownwood's going to have a great night. But if Stephenville can contain him, then I think this game really gets interesting down the stretch. So, what happens when Ike Hall takes command? Key number 2, Heart Attack Jackets. So Stephenville's 3-2 on the year, now back into the 4A Division I state rankings, and you can't say that it hasn't been exciting because the Yellow Jackets have been involved in some very tight ball games. If you take out an 11-point loss to Abilene Wiley, their other 4 games have been decided by a combined 12 points. Yeah, they have been nip and tuck affairs. They're 3-1 in those 4 games, by the way. And quarterback Ryan Gafford has had a real knack for the dramatic. So what does that mean, really? Like, is Stephenville just good in these close games? If this game is close, does that give the Yellow Jackets an advantage? Can the defense for Brownwood, led by defensive lineman Quentin McCarty, give them a little bit of breathing room to make sure this isn't a one-score game? A lot of fascinating aspects to this particular note that Stephenville has played a lot of close games. They've got that experience, and they look like they're pretty good at it. So, can the Brownwood defense step up to give them some breathing room, or will Stephenville get into a nip-and-tuck affair again? And key number 3, the rivalry. This is what makes Texas high school football so great, right? The Battle of 377, one of the great rivalries in Texas high school football, the 79th meeting between these two. This is a non-district game, but it is not going to have a feel of a non-district game there at Gordonwood Stadium. Now, Stephenville has dominated this series of late. They've won the last 3 and 5 of the last 6. But Brownwood, it looks like they have the upper hand this year, especially being at home. The other thing that's interesting about this game is that it's uniquely personal for both of these coaches. Sammy Burnett, the head coach at Brownwood, is a Brownwood guy. He graduated from Brownwood High School. Sterling Doty, the head coach for Stephenville, he played for Stephenville. He is a Stephenville guy. So that's what makes this game so much fun on Friday night, is that it's not just 2 teams going at it, it's 2 communities. But with that comes pressure, comes a spotlight, and comes big moments that teams are going to need to be able to handle to get through to the end. So, when the rivalry lights are the brightest, which of these teams can step up the most? Who am I picking? I'm going with Brownwood. I trust the Lions' defense more than I trust Stephenville's defense, plain and simple. I think that they have been more consistent week to week. Now, Stephenville certainly got plenty of playmakers, and Ryan Gafford, their quarterback, is capable of taking over this game. But if you're asking me which team I trust more going into this game, the answer is Brownwood. I think they've proven it week in and week out a lot more than Stephenville has. Now, Brownwood has not been running away from teams. Last week against Connally, they certainly got lit up a little bit on the defensive side, so it's going to be up to Quentin McCarty getting pressure up front and able to make these plays. It's also up to the Stephenville defense to contain Ike Hall. In the end, though, with home field advantage, I think Brownwood breaks the streak. I think the Lions get a rivalry of 377 win. Let's go to Houston. 7 o'clock Friday night at Crenshaw Memorial Stadium in Houston. It is a District 21 6A clash between the Galena Park North Shore Mustangs and the Sheldon C.E. King Panthers. There are 4 state-ranked teams in 21 6A. They have a real claim to being the District of Doom, and we're going to start to sort it out this week as these two state-ranked teams go at it. I really do like this C.E. King team. Quarterback Darius Clark-James, I think, is starting to grow into the role. He's got plenty of weapons on the outside, but they got a scare last week against Humboldt. They will need to be much sharper this week, taking on Caleb Bailey and Devin Sanchez and this incredible North Shore team that is really rolling. North Shore has not lost a district game since October 2017. I am inclined to think that doesn't change this week. I think North Shore gets the win. Let's go to Columbus, 7 o'clock Friday night at Memorial Stadium. It is a state-ranked matchup of unbeatens as the Madisonville Mustangs visit the Columbus Cardinals. This has been a really intriguing year for Madisonville to start the year. 5-0 for the first time since 2017, and they're really hitting on all cylinders. Two-way star Lorenzo Johnson, the Texas Tech commit, has been fantastic. Quarterback Ty Williams has been very strong as well. They will need to play their best game yet when they visit Columbus, who looks like a certified state championship contender. Quarterback Adam Schobel is in complete command of this offense, but what really impresses me most about this team is the defense, which has made big strides behind linebacker John Schobel. Yeah, it's a lot of Schobels on this team. I would not be surprised, actually, if this was a pretty low-scoring affair and these two defenses really came out on the good foot. I think Columbus at home is going to be the team to beat in this one. Give me the Cardinals. And 7 o'clock Friday night at Buddy Eccles Field in Coppell, it's a District 6-6A clash between the Lewisville Fighting Farmers and the Coppell Cowboys. Lewisville is looking every bit the part of a contender. They have been outstanding. Quarterback Ethan Terrell and running back Viren Ellison have been very strong to start the year, but what intrigues me most about this Farmers team is it does look like this defense has really rounded into form. They look very dangerous. Taking on a Coppell team that their defense struggled early on, but the recent returns have been very good, and quarterback Edward Griffin is in complete command of this offense. There is an elephant in the room here. I'm a Coppell guy. I went to Coppell High School class of 2004, and Cowboy fight certainly never dies. That said, Lewisville's got to be your favorite in this one. I think the weaponry they've got is going to be too much. I think this game is closer than it was last year, but I think the result is the same. Give me the Farmers. But those are far from the only big games in Week 6 of the Texas high school football season. Let's get to the lightning round. I like Weimar over Thrall. Lorena takes down Little River Academy. Give me Dripping Springs over Buda Johnson. I like Stanford over Olney. Give me Bremont to take down Windthorst. And how's this for a matchup of unbeatens? I like Newton over Anderson Shiro. Big one on the coast. I like Refugio over Three Rivers. Did you know that Tidehaven's the only UIL 11-man team that hasn't given up a point this season? I'm not sure if that holds up this week, but I do think that they beat East Bernard. And in a battle of DFW surprises, I like Frisco Panther Creek over Wilmer Hutchins. I like Wall over Resurgent Mason. Give me Wink over El Dorado. And another battle of unbeatens. I like Winsboro over Commerce. Out east, I like DeKalb over New Boston. I like Harmony to edge out surprising New Diana. And way out west, I like El Paso Pebble Hills over El Paso Americas. I like Rock Springs over Center Point. I cannot get over how good the P&G defense looked last week. I think Port Neches Groves beats Texas City. And give me Hampshire Finette over Jasper. I like Canyon West Plains just barely over Hereford. Give me Bushland over El Paso Riverside. And Kirbyville takes down Buna. I like Andrews over Canyon. Center takes down Rusk. And Fulshire gets the better of Angleton. In the Valley, I like Brownsville Veterans Memorial over Donna. In Greater San Antonio, I like Universal City Randolph over Blanco. And in Houston, how's this for a surprising matchup of powers in District 19 6A? I like Katy over upstart Katy Jordan. Battle of Unbeatens in San Antonio, I like Jay over Sotomayor. Give me Muleshoot to take down Brownfield. And Dieball gets past Palestine Westwood. Give me Waco La Vega over Yoakum. Waco Connolly gets right with a win over Springtown. And another big game in San Antonio, I like Johnson over Brandeis. Toller keeps it rolling with a win over Hamilton. Mart keeps it rolling with a win over Heiko. And I like Pearsall over Stockdale. Another battle of surprise unbeaten. I like Honeygrove over Alba Golden. And give me Holiday over Snyder. I'm going with Seymour over Archer City in our 6-man game of the week. Another matchup of unbeatens. I like Abbott over Borden County. And those are the picks. What am I wrong about? Which games did I leave out? Leave comments down below. Don't forget that subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Camels. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Camels. And, of course, see us at texasfootball.com. Thanks for watching. Enjoy Week 6 of the Texas high school football season. We'll see you.